The Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by the Elite Experience, Elite Shotguns, and is fueled by Fiocchi.
Paul?
Welcome to the Dead Pair Podcast, coming in hot with everything you want to hear about sporting clays.
Guy Fieri.
How are you, gentlemen? Thanks for having me.
Anthony Matarese Jr., how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well.
Welcome back, David Radulovich.
That's a net positive. Brad Kidd.
Corey Cruz, thank you for joining us this evening.
Now I feel awkward.
With your hosts, Jason
One
Rambo
more Red Bull for you.
and Sean Alley.
Woo, yeah!
Christmas.
Let's do it.
Often imitated but never duplicated. It's the Dead Pair Podcast. And now, it's showtime.
What's up, Mr. Large and in charge?
I don't know, man. We're just kind of dealing with this limbo weather here in Ohio.
Oh,
Not
gee.
quite winter, not quite spring, somewhere in between.
Yeah, full-time sucks. Got it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, we've got a jam-packed show for y'all, but before we get started, just a huge thanks to all of our sponsors: Elite Shotguns, Fiocchi USA, Bear Pelt, Atlas Traps, RE Ranger, Odo Pro Technologies, Rhino Chokes, Vero Beach Clay Shooting, White Flower Targets, Don Grant Mental Training and Hypnotist, and of course, Score Chaser. Sean Alley, we could not do what we do without these people.
That's right. Big thanks to all of our sponsors who continue to support us, and we just can't say it enough.
Yes. Hey, listen, we have got attorney talk we got to get to right
It's
now.
Tourney Talk. Brought to you by Score Chaser.
All right, this one's a little bit out there. This is the 2024 U.S. Open, which is going to be held at Northbrook Sports Club. Now open for registration. Shoot will be July 23rd through the 28th. Again, this is for 2024.
I'll be there. You going?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, speaking of U.S. Open, congratulations to Wendell Cherry.
Big win.
Yeah, who bested Derek Mine in the shoot-off. So congratulations, Wendell Cherry. Congratulations, Derek Mine, who's placed runner-up. And, of course, Corey Cruz took third. We were not able to attend that shoot, but we had none other than Mr. RAD Chad Roberts. We shipped him a microphone and sent him off to his merry little way. And
Turned him loose.
told him, I said, try to get us 4 or 5 interviews. Afterwards, I'm like, Chad, I said 4 or 5, not 45. He has got a slew of awesome shooters that he interviewed. So
Chad likes to talk.
yes, he does. And he's going to be on talking here in just a minute.
Yep.
But hopefully we'll have that for you next week. Got some really exciting news to announce, Mr. Alley.
Yep, new stuff.
We have partnered with, no, they are not a sponsor of the show. We have partnered with Dalton and Deuce to bring you our very own blend of coffee.
And it smells wonderful.
Yes, and it tastes wonderful too. Kind of interesting backstory. So 6 guys, they're all hunters and shooters. They formed the Dalton and Deuce Coffee Company, and they were advertising some of the stuff that was going to be coming available, and it was, kind of like pre-launch for them on Instagram. And I reached out to them and was talking to them. I said, man, I can't wait to try some of this stuff. And they're like, yeah, we'd love to have some. And I said, man, how cool would it be to have our very own Dead Pair blend? And he's like, let's do it. And I'm like, are you serious? So one thing led to another, and Sean and I kind of came up with what we thought would be a happy medium for everybody, I guess you could say, Sean, as far as a blend goes. It's a medium to a dark roast. It's called the Dead Pair Podcast Blend. Check this out. Free shipping. Depending on what area you live in, there may or may not be sales tax. And if you use the code DEADPAIR at checkout, you're going to get 15% off your order. The roaster, this is, like I said, really cool backstory. So they use 2 different roasters. They're both here in the United States. They source their beans from all over South America, Latin America. And it just so happens that our roast, the beans were sourced from Latin America. Now, the new roast that we have coming out, we'll talk about that down the road. I think a little bit of it's going to come from Colombia, the beans.
Yep.
But the roaster is done right here in the United States. You can buy them in both whole bean and grounds. K-Cups are coming soon. They're not available yet, but they are coming soon. This is all available at DaltonandDeuceLLC.com. We'll have a link right down in our show description from here on out. You can click on that. 15% off your order. Use the code DEADPAIR and you're going to get free shipping. I think it's $24.95 a bag for a 1 pound bag.
Yeah, which is pretty reasonable considering.
I think so, yeah.
For a premium coffee like that. I just opened my bag. Jason brought me a bag to try, and I'll tell you what, it smells wonderful. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to be brewing up a cup. So
yeah,
looking forward to it.
It's something new, something exciting for us because Sean and I, we enjoy the occasional bourbon in the studio, but we also like us a good cup of coffee.
Yeah, well, sometimes you just got to kickstart the engine.
Yes. Especially for those 8 a.m. rotations in the morning, right?
Oh, definitely.
So, but hey, also, it's a limited time run, but if you head over to clayshootingapparel.com, we've got some limited edition. They're kind of like a jersey.
Kind of like a shooting shirt. Yeah.
It's, if you know the material that's kind of like the fishing shirts, like the silky material, it's kind of like that. A little different design, thanks to the folks at Clay Shooting Apparel or True Pair Apparel. Both companies are the same. That do all of our shirts for us. Thank you to them for designing that.
Yeah, it's a really cool design, guys. Take a look at it when you get a chance.
But when I say limited time, I think they're only available for a few weeks.
Right.
So
yeah, it's going to get the orders in, get them done and out. So
get in there and get you some of that. Hey, speaking of getting some of that, we're talking the California State Championship.
Yep.
Tonight. We have 4 guests coming on. Of course, RAD Chad's one of them.
Yep.
And going to be hopefully interesting to hear how they do things on the other side of the United States.
Yeah, we really haven't focused too much out there on the West Coast too much, and we haven't been able to travel out there too much either. So This is kind of an awareness. We've kind of focused on the Northeast, the East, the Southeast, and a little bit of the Central USA. But yeah, it's time to kind of focus a little bit on the West Coast for the West Coast shooters, and let's see what they do, how they do things out there.
Kind of spread our wings and broaden our horizons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, what do you say we get them on the phone?
Do it, man.
The Dead Pair.
All right, this is going to be awesome. We have with us to represent the California State shoot, which, by the way, that shoot is June 28th through July 2nd at LA Clay. Sean Alley, why don't you introduce our guests?
All right, we got a full house here other than me and Jason in studio. Joining us right now, we've got Tom John Jr., who's the president of California Sporting Clays Association. We've got Ryan Mullen, who's the sales manager for the clubs. Jun Vergara, operations manager and target setter. And, of course, the man that needs no introduction, RAD Chad Roberts, who is a delegate.
That's awesome. Well, let's dive right into this. I want to start with Tom. Tom is the president of the CSCA. Obviously, the state championship shoot is, of the utmost importance. If you could tell us, is your state shoot, is it a 1 year or a 2 year bid? I know around here in Ohio, it's a 2 year bid for a club. How does it work out there in California?
In California, we've rotated between clubs. It's a 1 year bid, and we have been rotating north and south, alternating between a couple clubs. We don't have a lot of clubs other than just a handful that can hold the state championship.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. I mean, what kind of volume of shooters are you hoping for this year?
I'm hoping for 350.
Okay.
I think we'll reach that number.
Is there, other than size, is there any qualifications that you guys set out from a board perspective for a club in order to bid on the state shoot?
Not really, but the problem in California is the real estate that the clubs are on. A lot of the clubs don't have enough real estate to hold the state championship with all the events.
Gotcha. Tom or anybody actually could answer this. Now, when it comes to California, the rest of the country knows, or at least they kind of have an idea, that California is not really a gun-friendly state. However, you guys have one of the highest volume target clubs in the country. Is that right?
Correct.
Gotcha. So what do you say to people that maybe have a bad perception of California as a shooting state?
I've been hassled in more states when I travel. Never been hassled in California. There's really no big deal about traveling with guns in California or ammunition. My biggest hurdle has been Texas, but California is not a problem.
Okay.
You shouldn't fear that at all.
Well, Chad, why don't you go ahead and chime in here, buddy? Because I know you travel all over the country, and you told me that LA is one of the easiest airports to come into with a gun.
Between I've been traveling a long time along with Tom, and we've been all over the country, but, Tom drives a lot of places and I fly. I see him flying this year more than anything. But, what I noticed is, I pay attention to the different airports, whether I'm going into Atlanta or Philadelphia to go to Anthony's place or down in Houston or wherever. And it seems like it's I get kind of freaked out about it because sometimes, you put your gun on a conveyor and they say, okay, stay here for 20, 30 minutes until we tell you it's clear. And then you don't hear from them. And luckily, if you have a good app on your phone, through United or whatever, you can track your bags and you find out that it cleared, then you can go. But literally, honest to God, guys, if you're flying to California, you fly into Orange County or LA. Yes, LA is super busy, just because it's one of the biggest airports in the country, if not the world. But, you come down to Orange County, which is within 45 minutes of all the clubs that you would shoot at here that are high volume in Southern California. You literally, they know most of us by name. You just tell them you have your gun with you and they give you the paperwork and you fill it out and you go send it in. And I think Tom and anybody on the phone can attest. I probably have an easier time flying out of California. And I think Zach even said it once, it's easier to fly out of here or into here than it is any other airport in the States.
Really?
And I find that all the time. And I actually like flying into Orange County or flying out or out of LA or coming into LA because it's just so efficient. I don't have to worry about where my stuff's at.
Well, that's good news for people that are wanting to come into California for this state shoot.
We hope, right, Tom? I mean, what a lot of people don't understand, like you guys, you mentioned, LA Clays is a high volume club. Is something that they don't listen to. I don't know why they don't listen to Tom or I, but they listen to Zach, for example. He's national champion or whatever. But I mean, you can go into LA Clays any day of the week and it's busy. And, at one point when I was working there more full time back in 2016 and 17, if I'm correct, Tom, we were throwing 9.4 million targets a year, and that's higher than some states and as a whole. So, I shoot for Fiocchi Ammunition. At one point back in 2019 was the last time I remember them assessing it. California was the number one state of a buyer of Fiocchi Ammunition in the country. So, I mean, there's a lot of shooters here, and people just don't realize there is because of the politics and all that. But yeah, we have a lot of cool clubs. LA Clays is a very unique club. It's high volume. It's nice. It's a shooters club.
Gotcha. Well, let's change gears for a second. I want to talk to Jun for a minute. Jun, as the operations manager, you're going to be hosting the state championship. There's a lot of things to consider, but what are some of the key aspects that you focus on to make the shooter's experience as the best possible it can at that shoot?
Well, we hope to have challenging targets that would be fair for all levels. We have experience running large events and use the experience to run a seamless shoot that people truly and make them want to come back again and again.
Mm-hmm. Anything particular that you're doing as far as any specialty events or purses or options or anything like that you guys are pushing this year?
Well, we're going to do the whole shebang. So we're doing the main, the prelim, the feed task, the 5 stand, and then we're going to have all the sub gauge and pumping side by side as well.
Gotcha. All right. Now this one's for Ryan or Jun. Can you tell us a little bit about what the main payouts are for your shoot? Like, give us an overall purse and maybe what HOA is, and are you paying a first place to each class, or how you guys doing the general breakdown?
Yeah, I'll take that one. So currently the HOA payout for the main events, $3,000, runner-ups $2,000, third $1,000, fourth $750, fifth $500, plus $40 back to class for each of the classes. This year versus a previous year that we had payouts, we actually upped our class payouts. So first is for each class going to be $500, $400 for runner-up, $300 for third, $200 for fourth, $100 to fifth, and then concurrents are $500 to first, $250 to runner-up, and $100 to third. We plan to put more money back into the classes this year to increase payouts for the shooters, because myself as a shooter, when I go to a shoot, and I'm competing, I want to try and compete for, as much money as possible. And we see shoots all over the country. These payouts are getting bigger. We're seeing bigger events. And so I think this is a great opportunity for people to come to California and see that we're not messing around.
Nice.
That's very cool. All right, Rad Chad, we're going to pick on you for a second. You're not only a new board member, but you're also one of the state's top competitors. So with that in mind, what did you try to help the most with when it came to the state's championship shoot as a board member?
Whatever Tom tells me to do. Just kidding. I have always looked up to Tommy, and, I know that there's been times where, the competitive side and nature of us gets the best of us, but we are, I really enjoy Tommy, his competitiveness, and the guy has been, I've called him like a local hot shot before, but let's just be real. I mean, I think you got 8 state titles, Tom, or 7?
9, but who's
9? Okay. See, I mean, I don't even have enough there. And, he's made the All-American team. Are you a captain this year? Or are you on the team though? U.S. team?
On the U.S. team, I'm captain on FITAS and sporting.
Yeah. So, I mean, what I mean when I'm talking about that and why it goes into the board stuff is I'm looking at a guy that's been around since way before I even thought about shooting a gun in California. And Tom's been completely one of the best. I mean, Zach's good, guys. Yes, we know this, but I've seen Tom wipe his plate many a times in person, and I got video of it. So Tom can get it done, and he always has. But the one thing I like about Tom is he stayed true to his roots. He stayed in California. He didn't move away to go chase something in a different state. He's done everything he could to make it the best that it could be in California. And, if you go back into history, California had some of the best shooters, if not the best shooters in the country, came from here over the years. I mean, Carlisle's came from here. Scott Robertson, lots of people, even the way they run clubs in other states, they've had people at our club to see how it was run, to get an idea of how to run corporate shoots in a lot of them, because we were running through so many people from different countries and people coming in on buses and tour buses and things like that. So, but Tom has just been this consummate pro for California, and, kind of comes off gruff sometimes, but for a right purpose. It's like, look, I'm here for the shooters. And he always stuck up for the shooters. And I thought that was like commendable for one.
Okay.
But I always wanted to follow that. So when I had a chance to give back, the first thing I want to do is become an instructor, help as many people as I can, do Boy Scouts and help people shoot and things like that. And I've done that. I'm pretty successful with that throughout my career. I'm a pretty good shot, but I've always felt like I could give something more back, and I couldn't own a club. So, I just don't think I could ever do that. So I thought joining the board was a good step forward in helping. And so I'm there for the shooters, right or wrong, give or take. If it's not in the shooter's best interest, I vote against it, and I'm for it 100%. And that's where Tom and I always talk, and we're dead eye level together about that. And the only way we're going to make things better or keep the sport alive in this state is for people like Tom and myself to keep it going. So that's why I did it.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, Ryan, you've been too quiet, so I got a couple for you now. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Give us all the facts and the basics. Where is the club located? What kind of airports are people going to be flying into if they're coming in from out of state? Let's talk about hotels, amenities. You got the floor. Give it to us.
So we're right in the heart of Los Angeles, off the 60 and the 5 freeway in South El Monte. You can find all the information for us at laclays.com. We're about 35 to 40 minutes from 3 major airports: Ontario, Burbank, LAX. And that 35 to 40 minutes is very dependent on the wonderful LA traffic we have out here. Our host hotel is the DoubleTree on Montebello. It's right across the road from the range. You can actually hear the shooting in the morning while you're waking up, getting your coffee, getting ready to come out to the range for the shoot. There's plenty of other local accommodations. If you want to Airbnb, if you want to do anything like that, we offer RV hookups, dry camping as well. So if you want to bring your rig out, come out, stay with us. We've got a clubhouse, pro shop, full restaurant on site. We're also going to have a gunsmith to be able to assist with any issues shooters may face while they're out there. I mean, we're trying to bring as much to them. A lot of people come out to LA to come travel, see the sights, especially if you're traveling from out of state. We're 30 minutes from, Six Flags Magic Mountain. We're about 45 minutes from Disneyland. So these are things that people can bring their family out and then have a full other trip besides just coming out to the state shoot. So we try and offer as much as possible in terms of accommodations so people really kind of see what we're all about and see that we're really trying to get more shooters from outside of the state of California to come to the state shoot.
Gotcha. And I'm assuming that everything's on Score Chaser, correct?
Yep. Everything's on Score Chaser. They're going to be running the shoot. So we've got a great relationship with them. It's been super, super easy. We just added a couple more events, a 5-stand prelim, FETAS prelim, some sub-gauge events to the roster. So we've got full 5 days of shooting for people to come out and spend a whole week with us.
Okay. And one more thing. How about any giveaways or raffles that you want to announce?
So we're working with our sponsors to be doing some giveaways. We just signed an ammo sponsor, so they're going to be helping out. We're going to have plenty of ammo for people to come out and get, and then we're working on getting a bunch of stuff to give away to the shooters. Last year we gave away a Beretta 694, so we're really working on getting as much stuff as possible for these shooters to really come and enjoy the California sunshine.
Gotcha.
Now, June, you're the target setter for this event. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And so what is it that you're looking for in your presentations? Is it just lots of variety? Do you want them all hard or soft? What is it in your mindset that you try to do as a target setter for this?
Well, we are looking for a wide variety of targets that all skill levels will be able to shoot.
Gotcha.
Some will be very challenging. Some will be very technical. But we want people to understand California has one of the best state shoots in terms of target presentations available. A wide variety of terrain helps us accomplish this.
That's awesome. So when you're setting the main event, do you set it for, you're thinking like an HOA? I'm assuming you have a 200 target main. Is that correct?
Yes, that is
so
correct.
Are you looking for like a 190 or are you looking for like a 180 or do you base it on that?
Somewhere around 188 to 192, somewhere around that ballpark.
Okay. So then in other words, you want people to break targets and have fun, but still put some challenge in front of them.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Hey, I want to circle back to Tom for a minute. Tom, does the state association, do they give money back to the host club for purse? And the reason why I ask is I know here in Ohio, we do that, like we match up to a certain amount that the club puts up. Do you guys do something like that with the California State Association?
Currently, we haven't. We're putting a lot of our money most of our money into the trophy package. We're stepping the trophy package up with the new board that we have. We're looking at adding money and keeping the trophy package intact that we have now. But the trophies are something you're proud to take home.
Right.
But currently we're not adding money because of COVID. We really got set back because of COVID as far as state association money goes. And this year we're going to have excess money in excess. So I think next year we're going to look at probably adding money to the trophy package.
Okay.
To the class.
Gotcha. So let me ask you another question, Tom, while I got you on here. From a state organization standpoint, what do you like to see your state championship offer that differs from all the other state shoots in the country in terms of the shooter's experience?
I think number one's the targets. If the targets aren't fun, the people don't have fun. In California, we have some really fantastic target setters. Jun is a fantastic target setter. Ray Brown's a great target setter. And so is Dave Martin in the north at Quail Point. He's thrown excellent targets. I think the targets are the most important thing in the shoot.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's for the people there locally. That don't travel a lot. That's their biggest shoot of the year, And I'm sure they want to go have fun and not feel like they want to feel like they were beaten, not beat up. If that makes sense, right?
Well, when the shooter walks off the course and think he got hit by a freight train, it's not much fun.
That's right. I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah, we've been to a few of those, haven't we, Jason?
Yeah, we've been to, I ran over, hit by, and then backed up to see what they hit and took back off again by a freight train.
Oh, okay.
So
you're talking about the U.S. Open last year.
I wasn't going to say
names
anything.
Attached. No names attached.
No names.
Cut.
June and Ryan, you guys didn't go to the U.S. Open last year, did you?
Nope, but we heard all about it.
Yep. And Tom and I were like, what's going on?
Oh, boy. Well, hey, Rad Chad, while you're talking, hey, man, I mean, you're a busy guy. I mean, you got lessons, full-time job, shooting the circuit all over the country. I mean, why was it so important for you to become involved with the California Sporting Clays Association? I mean, you're a busy guy anyway.
I had two things I really want to get hopefully happen here. One thing I didn't like, one thing I didn't like is that it seemed like it started to become a north versus south thing, which from a competitive standpoint, we always felt like, okay, who's better at shooting? And we've always had some form of side events over the years to kind of, who takes the title. But that was fun, but it started getting to that way with how the state shoots were run, and then some of them didn't want to run state anymore, and it was kind of went back and forth. So I have a couple of my personal plans, and I've talked to Tom about this. I'd love to see us get to a point where each of whoever gets the state event, I'd like to see them get it for 2 years guaranteed in a row, maybe even more depending on how good their RFP is, but for sure 2 years, because I'd like to see reason why I say that, because I saw your guys' association when you guys ran 2 years at Hillendale, and now you're going to go 2 years at Cardinal Center. I see the shoot management putting up a lot of money to make the club in the event the best it can be. But I even remember June and I talking, and even Ryan at one point after the last state, they're like, oh, I wish you would have done this. I wish you would have done that. And, that's great, but you may have 2 to 3 years before you get that opportunity to do that. And I would always love to see, my goal is to see each club that gets it go for 2 years at least, guaranteed if they want it, of course. So if they do spend money on it, or get them to spend money on it, on the event, they can really get something long-term back from it over the years. And that's one thing. The other thing is I wanted to be there for the shooters. Tom talked to me relentless, and we'd always have these side conversations about what we're mad at about, whatever this or that. And, I'd have my opinions, and, I would just get this slap in the face. It's like, well, then get involved. I'm like, I don't know how. And, when the opportunity came to be able to be on the association, I think Tom was the first person to ever tell me. He's like, you got to get on the board and get on it now. I'm like, I don't know, Tom. He's like, you keep on asking and telling me how you want to change things. This is your opportunity. So I did it, and I'm super glad I did. So thanks, Tom.
That's awesome.
And then the last thing from my side is, Tom, why, this kind of goes along with the shooters. Tom and the guys on the board, or the people on the board, came up with something that we're doing to give. It's kind of like a little give back. And he was saying how we weren't going to give any money, back or anything because of COVID, but we're doing this north versus south thing. Tom, can you explain what that is for everybody out there?
Yeah, we've come up with the north-south shootout, and I think we have Pacific Sporting Arms sponsoring the trophy, and we have a perpetual trophy for the north-south shootout. And I think the idea is we're going to put money into the north-south shootout, and whoever the top guns are picked out of the north, and whoever the top guns from the south, whoever wins the shootout's gonna end up winning the money.
And can you tell them who's going to be on the teams as far as like how you picked it?
We're going to have lady concurrent. We're going to have I think it was 3 concurrents: a super vet, a lady, and a super vet, a vet, or either or, and a lady and a junior. And then the other 2 spots are the top masters.
There you go. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to run a shootout against those guys, north and south, and see who can get, so if people are out there from California and want to get involved, this is a good way to get involved with taking a team trophy.
Yeah, and they get to take home the bragging rights until next year, right?
Yep, for sure.
All right. Hey, June, let's circle back real quick with you. As the host club, I'm sure you have your hands full. Are you bringing in extra traps, extra towers? I mean, what other kind of equipment demands do you have for a big shoot like this?
Romatic will be there in full force to make sure the event runs smoothly. In February, we had brand new sporting machines on the course. We are bringing in additional 60 machines to make sure that all events run without any hiccups. Long range will be there supporting us for all our thrower needs. And Sunbelt will be bringing in lifts for us in addition to the ones we already own. We plan to have some very competitive targets for our shoot. Yes, sir.
Nice. Sounds like a good time for sure.
Okay, so if someone has a question that we didn't ask in this episode, who do they get a hold of? How do they get a hold of them? Website, phone numbers, emails? Who's the one that we're going after?
So
Not me.
Currently, Score Chaser is handling all the registration for the shoot. So squatting issues, anything like that, event changes, they can go through Score Chaser. They'll be able to handle all that. You'll be able to find updates on our website, laclays.com, as well as our Facebook page, the CSCA Association's Facebook page as well. We've been trying to grow it. Tom's wife, Grace, has been doing a wonderful job for the clubs in California, pushing out updates regarding shoots, events that are happening all over the state, getting, everything set up for us. You'll be able to find a lot more information. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us. 626-427-0606 is a direct line to the range. You can reach June if you have any questions, June@laclays.com. You can reach me if you have any questions. It's Ryan@laclays.com. So we're very open. We're very transparent. We want people to ask questions. We want people to get information. And so we really want to make this a place where people be like, if they have any questions about California laws or bringing in ammo, if they need to ship ammo to us, just to make sure that they have what they need, we're going to have plenty of ammo available at competitive prices. So people aren't like, oh, well, go to California, everything's more expensive everywhere you go. But our whole idea for the state shoot is bringing people from out of the state. Yes, they're traveling. We want to make sure they're comfortable with everything that they need, and we're going to have it at the range. So really, there's no worries coming into California for anything. We'll have plenty of ammo, plenty of space. It's going to be an awesome shoot.
Well, Ryan, while we got you on the hook, we'll start with you. Any closing thoughts? Did we forget anything?
I just think the biggest thing is come out to California. It's sunshine most of the time, except for the beginning of this year. It's been rain nonstop, as everyone's been seeing. Yeah. But the weather around that time of the year is usually pretty great. I think the last time we had the state shoot, everything was, 70 to 80 degrees. Everything's under shade. So all of our sporting clays course is all shaded. We have tents everywhere for all the events, FETAS, water, at every station. We try and make this a very hospitable place for people to come out and really enjoy themselves. If there's, I think that's the biggest thing is everyone has this misconception about California and how terrible it is with the laws and the regulations. It's really not bad. Like the guys were saying earlier, traveling in and out of the state, I had less issues coming out of California going to nationals than I did coming back. So it's very, very I guess I could say, easy for people to make their way out to California. Bring ammo, ship ammo to us. You can get in contact with me or June. We'll make the arrangements. We'll make sure that you guys have everything you possibly need to come out and just have a great time with us.
That's awesome. What about you, June? Any closing thoughts? We forget anything?
Well, just come out to California and enjoy the California sun for our state shoot, and we hope to see you there.
Awesome. Tom, sir, anything else that you want to add to it?
Well, I'd really like to see some out-of-state shooters come out. They don't know what they're missing with June's targets. June is a great target setter, and I think they'd be quite surprised if they come out and seen what a great shoot that the California shoot is.
Awesome. Rad Chad, you've always got something to say, buddy.
I just want people. Thanks. Yeah, it's me. One thing I will say that, outside of coming out here, come to Disneyland, go to the beach. You can go up to Big Bear. It's probably going to still have snow up there, whatever. You can do it all in one day. It's super bitchin' at our club, super rad, as I say. But I want you guys to understand something in Shooterland. June is not just a target setter. He's an Olympian. He shot skeet in Olympics, and he taught skeet in Olympics. So did his brother. And he's a competitive, I think you're master now from winning so much, right, June?
Yeah, currently I'm in master class.
Yeah, so June gets it done, guys. He can, and this is in sporting clays, he gets it done. Tommy, if you don't know who Tommy, you're kind of dumb in this world, because this guy's won more stuff. One of the first guys, if not, I think he's one of the first guys ever run 100 in the United States. He's got more accolades than, tractors have wheels, I mean, this guy's a monster, and he's still doing it and just amazes me. But, nobody really realized that. Believe, Ryan, did you not win or get second in Super Sport at the national championships this year in AA?
Yeah, I'm actually sitting in my office right now next to my nice little trophy stand, and I took Super Sporting AA, second place by one target.
Yes, sir. So
I've been listening to Don Grant every time you guys have her on.
There you go.
Make sure I get that mental game up.
That's right.
And of course, Tommy was teaching him, because he wouldn't come to me because he's probably trying to beat me or something. But Tommy's a coach. I'm a coach. We just love it, and the club is great. The food's great. The club's great. The people are great. We love to shoot guns here. You'll have a blast. Please come out and see us. Take a chance on us, and I guarantee you won't be disappointed.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you all very much. We appreciate your time. Appreciate you guys coming on, and
good stuff.
We'll definitely put your links to LA Clays right down the bottom of the show description. Ryan, if you want me to, I can throw those emails in there as well. So if anybody's listening to this and they're driving down the road, they can just, when they get home, hit the show description and have all the information right there.
We'd love to have them reach out. Any questions they have about anything regards to the state shoot, anything, we're more than willing to help out.
Awesome. Well, guys, like I said, thank you again very much. We appreciate y'all's time.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you guys so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody take care.
All right, Sean, are you buying me a ticket to California?
California. Right? Now how it goes?
You stick to making signs.
Okay, all right. Fair enough.
Yeah, don't sell your printer just yet.
Man, you're never nice to me, I swear.
But no, seriously though, the California State Shoot, man, it sounds like a lot of fun, and $40 back to class on top of guaranteed money.
Yeah, that's huge. They do it a little different. Chad's told us many times they do it a little different out there than we do here in Ohio. They kind of focus more on the money, which I can see that bringing more people out there, and obviously makes it a little more competitive, a little more fun, a little more skin in the game, but I'm for that. I mean, heck, if it costs you an extra $40-$50 on top of your regular tournament fees, what's the big deal?
Yeah, but I don't think they are saying, okay, if we're doing 40 back to class, we're going to charge an extra 40. I don't think that's what they're doing. I mean, if you look at the entry fees, they're right in line with all the other state shoots.
Are they? Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, then that's fair. I mean, that's more than fair.
Yeah.
They're just giving back more.
I love it. I think it's awesome.
Yep.
We're going to, you know what? I'll let the cat out of the bag just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to let you look at the whiskers.
Okay.
You want to tell everybody?
You go ahead. I'm not sure where you're going with this yet.
About the episode we talked about tournaments.
Oh, yes. You can go ahead and tease them with that a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to do a complete breakdown. We had a guy email us Jeff, you know who you are. Thank you very much for that email, by the way. He had a really great idea about, doing a show on where does the money go?
Mhm.
Where does your tournament fees go? If you're paying $89 for 100 birds, where does that $89 go? So we're going to talk to some clubs. We're going to break that money down for you penny by penny. And then we're also going to talk about some of this back to class stuff and some of, like Chad says, they shoot for money out there quite often, like on a regular basis.
That's their thing. That's their thing.
Yeah. And, maybe that's an idea for some clubs. So we're going to get into that too here in the near future. In the meantime, make sure you're visiting our sponsors. Okay. Look, they're all right down there in the show description. Check them out. Their website. We've hashtagged them. We've tagged them tagged them, hashtagged them, the whole 9 yards. It's real easy to find them on social media and on their websites right down in the show description. You really need to be looking at these sponsors and the value of their products. Sean Alley, we tell everybody every week.
Take somebody shooting, get a gun in their hand, go out there, show them how much fun this sport is. Get involved with your family. Take your wife out. Go to a charity shoot. Introduce your shooting buddies to registered tournaments. There's so much to do in the sport.
Take them to a state shoot.
Take them to a state shoot. That's right. And there's all kinds of... Trust me, there's all kinds of clubs all over the place. Maybe some states have it a little bit better than others, but there are places to go. And if you want to, you can find them and you can get a gun in their hand and just have a ball. You're going to have a great time.
Absolutely. And if you need some equipment for your own personal house,
well, you can
traptowers.com. Give me a call, folks. Come on.
We know a guy.
We know a guy. Yeah, selfish plug. Well, hey, everyone. Thank you very much. Sean, until next week.
Can't wait to see you all back here on The Dead Pair.
We'll see you next time on the Dead Pair Podcast.
The Dead Pair. The Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by Elite Shotguns and Vero Beach Clay Shooting and is fueled by Fiocchi USA. The Dead Pair theme song was written, arranged, and produced by Toby Tomplay. Special thanks to the following sponsors: Bear Pelt, Negrini, Rhino, Otopro, Dawn Grant, Atlas Trap Company, RE Ranger, and White Flyer Targets.